in whatever they are trying to say. They want to put something out on social media, and then they want the fans to get fucking all up in arms about what they say. They want to have the fans try and decode these cryptic messages or whatever to decipher whatever they say. And then when the fans do, things grow and things get a life of its own, and news spreads and misinformation spreads, and then the wrestler who tweeted or the wrestlers who tweeted want to get mad at the fans and shit on the fans for what they said. And the world goes round and round. Nobody is a bigger mark for themselves than a pro wrestler. You have so many fucking egos here. Tony Khan, John Moxley, Chris Jericho, CM Punk, the Elites, Matt Nick Jackson. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I care about? Do you know what I genuinely care about? I don't give a fuck who hates who actually who. I don't care. Punk fucked up. I want Punk back. Punk fucked up. I wish he did. I'm not on any side. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what the Elite said. I don't give a shit what Punk said. I don't give a shit if you're pro Punk or pro Elite. I don't care. Punk fucked up. What he did now is targeted. And again, we could all be in a situation where we're being worked. Do I think it's a work? I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I don't. Certainly came very close. You know what I think? You know how I work? You know how I work? And what I think? We're dangerously close to this AEW All Access show. And this, a week before it airs, gets dropped on social media. I don't know, man. You know, the low-key conspiracy theorist in me thinks about this shit while you're fucking sleeping at night. All of a sudden, this bomb gets dropped on social media, and we're legitimately less than a week away before the AEW All Access show, man. You know, I said this when Jesse and I covered this story. Are we legitimately being, where everything that we've talked about, Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, Eddie Kingston, Sammy Guevara, all this shit backstage that happened is on that show. Legitimately, everything that we talked about is going to be documented on that show. Did they turn the cameras on and start filming for the fucking TV show? Because you know the Elite's going to be talking about the all-out media scrum. Tony Khan's on the fucking show, sitting down with the Elite in the little presser that they put out, the little coming attraction teaser that they put out. Man, what a season finale this would be, man, for Punk to reemerge right before Double or Nothing, huh? That's the low-key conspiracy theorist in me thinking that this is all one big elaborate work. Now, is it? Is it? I don't know. I'm going to lean towards no. It can't be. Unless it was so fucking brilliant that they worked the entire industry. They're thinking everything that we heard here is real. I do think that the all-out media scrum was legit. I do think what happened and the fight that happened was legit. Punk fucked up. Punk fucked up. If this is real, which I hope it's not, this man targeted Chris Jericho. This man targeted John Moxley. Why? You think those men are going to be allowed to be back? You think those men are going to allow CM Punk to be back in the company? I know I wouldn't. If I'm them. Why would you want that in your locker room?
Sorry.
Who else hates CM Punk in that locker? He's probably got a good 50-50 split in that locker. There are pro CM Punk advocates in that locker room. There are absolutely CM Punk fans in that locker room that would welcome him back. But the most important people, the most important fucking guys are the ones you mentioned in this Instagram story. They will not allow you back in their locker room. Why would you do that? All he did was basically seal his fate. And if he comes back, how many people are going to welcome him back? How many people are going to want to work with him? How many people are going to walk out if he comes back? Knowing that CM Punk is potentially going to do this again. How do we know this isn't going to happen again? This is one huge liability for Tony Khan. We don't know. We don't know what Punk is capable of. We didn't think he was stupid enough to go do this week. After what he did at All Out, we didn't think he was this stupid to do it again on social media. And there he is. If he's capable of doing what he did at All Out, sit at home for 7 months to do nothing and say nothing, and make jabs about it and poke fun at it and then sit on it and hopefully come up with an apology. If he could sit at home after what he did in September to then turn around and post that on social media, what do you think he's capable of for a third time back if he's welcome back to the AEW? It is something that I don't want to see transpire. I don't. He basically, I don't want to say ruins his chances, because the only one that's going to be able to make that decision is Tony Khan. Does AEW need someone? To me, it's a very difficult question to answer. Do they need him? No. They don't need. See, and I put emphasis on need. Do they need CM Punk? Do they need CM Punk? Yes. They absolutely do. The magic that CM Punk brought has never been duplicated. And you won't be. And I mean this with the utmost respect to MJF and Jungle Boy and Darby Allin and all those guys. I love all those guys. I'm such a huge fan of all. Sammy Guevara, Eddie Kingston, Malachi, everybody that we love that's on that television show. I mean this in no disrespect at all to them. But does AEW need CM Punk? Yes, they do. Everything that CM Punk is a part of makes the show better. He's just that guy. The business will be better. AEW will flourish more with him there. And I'm talking about monetary. I'm not talking about locker room leader-wise. I'm not talking about anything backstage. I'm talking about what happens on the television show when he's there. For our enjoyment. Away from the bullshit and the toxicity of the locker room stories. That's what I'm talking about. But what he did here is basically, I mean, he's got a foot and a half out the door. Because legitimately the only one that is going to be able to make this decision is Tony Khan. How does Warner Media feel about this? I mean, if they needed CM Punk so badly, if Warner Media, just think about it from a TV rights deal perspective. And think about it from, because those people fucking have Tony Khan on strings. Think about it from their point of view. If they thought AEW was in such a bad way, right? If they thought, oh my God, Punk, AEW without Punk, what are we gonna do? If Warner Media is not seeing a problem here, and they're not panicked or they're not concerned, they just gave AEW another hour of television with a show rumored to be called AEW Collision on Saturday night. They gave them another 1 hour block with AEW All Access. They gave them another 2 hours of television. If they thought AEW was a sinking ship or they lost faith in AEW, especially with Punk being out for the last 6 or 7 months, they wouldn't have done what they did with AEW to give them more television time and more exposure on their networks. So look at it from a Time Warner Media perspective. Would they welcome CM Punk back? Yes, if the proper things are in place, if he does what he needs to do as a human being, everybody makes a fucking mistake. Sometimes twice. But you can apologize for it. You could be a better person for it. You could, have positivity come out of what he did. There is a whole slew of positivity that comes out of what he did if he apologizes and everybody fucking puts their egos aside and makes money from what he did, which is what we all hope for. But these fucking stories and this who said this and who said this and he's a liar and he's a stooge, everybody gets caught up on what Punk said or what Punk is saying about the locker room and how the locker room feels. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Do you know what I care about? I care about the conversations that Tony Khan and CM Punk had together. That's all I care about. Because as far as I am concerned, unless I see it and hear it or read it, I'm going to think that Punk is on his way back. Because I genuinely don't think that Tony Khan has the fucking balls to let Punk out of his contract with a non-compete or no non-compete attached to it. I don't care. That's what I care about. What has Tony Khan and CM Punk talked about? Where are those discussions? How far along in those discussions are we? That's all that matters. Because right now, the way we see it, nothing's happening. Nothing about him being released to talk about, or nothing about him being detained or suspended. I don't get this vibe that Tony Khan is going to let him go out into the open again. Tony Khan is not stupid. He's not. That's what CM Punk did. I mean, is it enough for Tony Khan to cut the chain and say goodbye? Yes. Yes. But at the end of all of this, there needs to be a apology and business. Tony Khan knows. Everybody needs to know. He knows exactly what the television show will be. You know, we need something for this company to just take it to the next level. I don't know if they have that within them right now. I don't. What we thought was Ryan, Cole, and Punk all arriving within 3 weeks of each other. We're like, AEW, I mean, there's no fucking way. We had high hopes for AEW. That, when we saw that at the end of All Out, we're like, this is unbelievable. There's no way they can fuck this up. With Punk back, everything was just, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful fucking transition. All Out, Grand Slam, and everything that happened. Tony Khan knows that we've gotten some great shows. We've gotten some great matches. We've gotten some great pay-per-views. Stories of the landing, I'm not gonna lie to you. AEW has not recaptured that long-term booking. It hasn't recaptured that essence. When Punk was there, when Cody was there, they haven't done anything close to that. Tony Khan knows that if Punk is back, that this will be their coming of age moment. This will be that moment that takes them into the next 5 years. This is the moment that's going to seal the deal for them getting whatever they ask from one meeting. Punk knows that. The Elite knows that. Hangman knows that. Moxley knows that. Jericho knows that. That locker room knows that. I wish that there were human beings in this company that realize the fucking potential that sits in front of them and realizes what will happen with one simple apology. With one simple human being sitting amongst other human beings, humanizing himself away from the ego, away from the fucking heartbreak that he suffered once before, away from the whispers and who's talking shit about him. I wish that they would sit together and come together as a family and realize that this is bigger than their fucking egos. That this is bigger than whatever problems that have happened in the past. What they need to do is come together as a family. If AEW was so important to them, if AEW was so important to Matt, Nick, Kenny, Jon Moxley, just re-upped for 5 years, Jericho, who re-upped for 5 years recently. If AEW was so important to them, if AEW is such a great company, CM Punk would have never even given them a fucking chance. CM Punk knew what he was walking into the day he walked in. He knew these people before he joined AEW. This is what needs to happen. That's what we want to see as pro wrestling fans. If that happens, I'm telling you right now, man, you want the one thing, you want your bloodline moment for WWE in AEW, there you go. I don't give a shit what is said from this point on. The only thing I care about is what Tony Khan is going to do next, because we haven't seen or heard anything in any manner. We haven't seen any direction come from Tony Khan. He's going to fire Punk, suspend Punk, dock Punk, cut him loose, give him a no non-compete, send him off to Triple H. Good luck with your future endeavors. We haven't heard or seen anything regarding that at all. I don't see Tony Khan doing that. Punk may have asked for that in the moment, but I don't think Punk wants that either. That's the only thing that I'm concerned with. Unless I see and I hear and I see it reported that Tony Khan has released CM Punk, then we can all cry. But AEW is better with CM Punk. Minus the toxicity in the locker room, whatever you want to think.
You bitch, check out Tom!
AEW is better with CM Punk. Now I do question.
Son of a
If he
bitch!
does come back, it's going to be ultimately Tony Khan's. If he does come back, and Tony Khan wants him back, he's already got enemies in John Moxley.
Stop that shit.
Chris Jericho, he's got enemies in the Elite. He's got enemies with half of the fucking club. Who is CM Punk going to work with? If Punk does come back, is it going to be a situation that he finds fruitful? If he's already basically broken himself away from the top of the fucking food chain, you know, all the most important people in the company can't fucking stand him, is it going to be an environment in which he wants to work? That's also what I question. I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, but I've said all I can on this. I don't give a shit what happens or who says what. Jericho, Moxley, this and that. The only thing that matters right now, the only thing that you should be concerned with is what Tony Khan is saying. Is Tony going to let him go? The answer is no. The answer is no. Moving on. Major update on Pat McAfee in WWE. Everybody's wondering what WWE is going to do with Pat McAfee. He came at the Royal Rumble. Announcing he alongside Corey Graves and Michael Cole. Pat McAfee is saying that, you know, he's got a successful podcast, business, he still plans to be in the WWE Hall of Fame one day. And the potential with ESPN is also likely in his future, and that is also a cause for concern as well for his WWE run. ESPN are currently in the process of winning off stat with a New York Post report saying that there will be no scared cows, or no sacred cows, no sacred cows is the term that they use, suggesting that any job could be at risk regardless of the role. The cuts, per the New York Post, are set to be finalized within the next 4 to 6 weeks, and the department has been asked to look for efficiency savings. The New York Post reported that Pat McAfee is exploring moving to a network that could have him step away from FanDuel in the midst of a 4-year, $120 million contract, and cited ESPN as a possibility, despite the current round of job cuts. McAfee had cast doubt over his WWE future in the event of the company being sold, suggesting it would depend on who bought the company. WWE CEO Nick Khan suggesting that the sale could take place in around 3 months in a recent interview with CBS. McAfee is one of the subjects of the lawsuit. Hall of Famer Brett Favre comments made in relation to the quarterback's alleged role in a 77 million salary. I don't know anything about that, but WWE, you know, is in a situation here where they're looking at Pat McAfee. I mean, Pat McAfee is great at what he does from everything to show that, you know, was missing for a very long time. The genuineness of him and Michael Cole, on air, on screen, and jump off the screen. But he's got a lot going on for himself, man, he does. There's a baby on the way, which I did not know. His podcast is all big time. He's got a lot of shit going on there. He wants to be picked up on ESPN to have that set. I guess maybe stepping away from the FanDuel 4-year, $420 million contract. I don't know. But ESPN said that there will be no sacred cows, suggesting that even the top bigwigs at ESPN are losing their jobs. So I don't know. And actually they have to put that up to the side for now. And if you walk into WWE, the WWE is always something that Triple H is going to keep open. But the traveling and being there every Friday, different cities, different especially for the baby, they're already traveling. He can do the show at home, in the comfort of his own home, wherever he's got his own video. You know, he's a little bit more flexible under his league than he was. If he's got to work for WWE, college football is away for the entire season. They got big caravans call. I think they do a great job. They're much better than what we hear on Monday Night Raw. They're probably the best commentaries on the company right now. And it's not something that, we are desperately needing to come back to be on TV. Let him take care of his shit. The door will always be open. Maybe he'll be at WrestleMania. We don't know. I can't see McAfee missing WrestleMania. Triple H wants him there, he'll be there. Ronda Rousey. She calls out the WWE Women's Creative and the Women's Division. She says, octogenarians in WWE don't put enough time into women's storylines. She cited her storyline with Liv Morgan as being one of the things that she was very upset about. Rousey appears to be unhappy, and we all know that's...
Oh, hey, go right here. Yeah, right in my face.
We all know Ronda sucks. We all know Ronda is awful, but she was unhappy with her feud with Liv Morgan. So was I. It was terrible. And she talked about it in an Instagram under a clip from her latest On the Road video from her YouTube channel. Rousey tweeted this, and I quote, "Imagine what our Liv Morgan feud could have looked like if we weren't hamstrung by a bunch of octogenarians who still think they know how to be hip while putting less than 5 minutes of thought a week into a women's storyline." And then she uses the thinking emoji, and then she uses the hashtag new on the road Ronda. Now the post, it sounds like she's calling out not Triple H, just so that I'm giving you guys the proper information. She's not calling out Triple H, okay? This is another one of those things that is going to be swept under the rug because you don't want to hear the fucking truth.
Right behind you.
Triple H is not being blamed here. I don't think Triple H is an octogenarian. In fact, let me see if I know the fucking definition of an octogenarian. Let me see. A person who is from 80 to 89 years old. The definition of octogenarian is a person who's from 80 to 89 years old. He's definitely not talking about Triple H. So everybody's already like, oh, whatever the fuck they say, man. This is rent-free in my head. I'm sorry, now we're hearing it. Now we're hearing it. From Ron to Rouse. I'm sorry, Triple H is not a fucking octogenarian by definition. So who is she talking about? This happened back in October. You need to tell me that this doesn't jump off the fucking page. Yes, Extreme Rules happened back in October, and yes, Extreme Rules was a very good pay-per-view. But why is she throwing that term around? Who the fuck are we supposed to think? Who? Vince McMahon is 77 years old. Bruce Pritchard is 16 years old. Michael...
you motherfucker. Snuck up on him. He snuck up on my ass.
Triple H loves
it.
Triple H loves women's wrestling. Triple H created the women's evolution. It was all started in NXT. This man would fucking jump through rings of fire to get women positioned better.
Giddy up.
On the roster, we saw Triple H go from 15-minute matches.
Motherfucker snuck my ass.
We barely get Mia Yim.
I didn't see him coming.
Going 3 minutes. Everything you see on
See
Monday
him
Night
now.
Raw ends within 1 minute